Everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here, Shira David, Baruch Hashem. I wish everyone a good Vach, Shvua Tov. I hope everyone had a wonderful Shabbos, and they felt the light of Shabbos Ba'aloischa. All right? And again, we learn here for the well-being of our soldiers and our captives, the Chayalim and the Chatuvim. And Hashem should please show them a lot of mercy. And we lost another soldier over the last, unbelievable. Hashem, please help them. Okay, so today we're gonna learn Likutey Halachos. We're in Hilchos Tefillah, and we're in Halacha Gimel, and we're up to letter Dalet today. All right, we started Dalet Erev Shabbos, but we'll start it again now, and we'll get a good. Okay, so we're learning about this concept of the Matnas Chinam. There's an Otzer of Matnas Chinam. There's a treasury. That Hashem has a treasure, a free anything you need. How's like that? It's a free anything you need. It's there for free. But we have to just recognize that everything we do, we're only accomplishing because Hashem gives us the ability to accomplish it. Mm-hmm. Therefore, we owe Hashem thanks for the things that we get to do. Not that Hashem owes us, but we owe Him thanks. Right? Everything we accomplished in Yiddishkeit. If we learned Torah, we kept Shabbos, we did whatever mitzvahs we did, whatever chesed we did. We only did it because Hashem gave us the opportunity to do it. So did I do it? Well, yes, I did it, but I only did it because Hashem gave me the ability to do it. Right? How many people are laid up in the hospital and they can't move? Right? Right? The hospitals are all full. They're all full. Right? Hashem, you let me get up today, and you let me go get to shul, and I was able to put on my talis and tefillin and say brachas and karbonah. Wow, it's amazing.
You can get appointment for like a month.
For why?
For anything. I'm saying like
you need an appointment?
Hospitals are full.
Oh, yeah.
You can even get appointment for a few months, like to a specialist.
If you need a specialist, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. No, so that's what we should always thank Hashem. But then we're learning that you could tap into this Otzer Matnas Chinam, this treasure of free everything from Hashem. Okay, when you daven, when you're saying the Shmoneh Esrei and all the Tefillah, because the Tefillah has in it words of Torah, the hidden Torah inside the words of the Tefillah. It's fascinating, right? Right? That's why people just say the davening very quickly. They want to go as fast as they can. Because they don't want to, they're not trying, there's a Yetzer Hara. I got to say it faster because they shouldn't tap into the treasure that's there. There's a treasure there. If someone told you it was a treasure in the street and you had one of those metal things, the people do that right there with the metal. What do they call it?
Metal detector.
No. They use
metal detector.
Yeah, metal detector, right? Okay, good. A metal detector, and you know that there's a lot of good metal. There's a lot of things over here, so you're going to go very slowly. You're going to try to find it, right? That's in Tefillah, right? The Tefillah has all the treasures inside of it, but you just have to learn how to access it. All right, so let's go on now. We're going to see now. Now let's say Dalet. Zeh bechinas Chasidim harishonim. Shahayu shoyin shah achas. These were the original Hasidim. These were the ones that the Gemara is talking about. These were people that took their tefillah very, very, very seriously. They understood the value of tefillah. They understood that everything can be accessed in tefillah. So what they would do is they would come to shul an hour before davening, and they would prepare for davening. An hour preparing for davening for an hour, and then after davening, they would stay and they would contemplate their davening, what they davened and how things worked. And they were just so focused on their tefillah. So the Gemara is puzzled by that. V'chi me'achas shohayu shayin teisha shoyis bayayim tayrosan masay nasay malachtan. Hey, wait a minute. If they spent 9 hours of the day, right, because before and after each tefillah, right, there are 3 tefillahs in a day, right? So if they spend 3 hours at each tefillah, right, 1 hour before the tefillah itself, and then you have the hour after the tefillah. That means they use 9 hours. So where's going to be time for Torah? Where's going to be time for their work? Ela mitoich shechasidim hayu tayrosan mishtameres malachtan mizvareches. But the Gemara answers that their work, right, their Torah was they accomplished their Torah within their tefillah. Isn't that amazing? Within their tefillah, they accomplished their Torah. They were learning while they were davening, but they didn't have a sefer out. They got it from the words itself. They didn't take out another book. Again, like we said, they weren't learning other things. They were middle davening, but they got everything. But their work was blessed. That's a beautiful thing. Their work was blessed. So whatever time they did, if they had only an hour to work, let's say, instead of some people spending, they daven for a half an hour, so they spend an hour and a half of davening a day, if they're lucky, maybe even an hour and 10 minutes, right? Right? Because mincha you could do in 6 minutes, 7 minutes, right? And then Aravis he could do in 7.5 minutes. I think they do sometimes here, right? 8 minutes?
10 minutes.
No. You're generous. That's generous. 10 minutes, right? And then Shachris he could do in 35 minutes. So really you can get it all done within an hour. 1 hour. But then the person has to work till all hours of the night. He's busy all day because, again, he's not focusing, getting his work, the blessing. His work is not blessed because he's not focusing on the tefillah. So therefore he has to work a lot to compensate that he's not davening the right way. It's the opposite. They think they're going to daven quick. They go daven quick, and then if I daven quick, I'll be able to work, and I'll make more money. No, but your work isn't going to be blessed. And you're just going to be spinning your wheels. You're just going to be spinning. You're making calls, you'll be doing things, and it's just not going to work. And then there are other days where you can put good kaiches into your davening, and then you make one call, and then you accomplish everything. And very quickly. Right? It happened? You ever anyone experienced that? Sasha, did you ever experience that?
Yeah.
It's amazing, right? That's when your work is blessed. That's amazing. Their work was blessed. But again, they took Tefillah. Tefillah was very serious by them. They took it seriously. All right? So you understand, this is based on the Gemara and Brachas, on Lamed Beis, Lamed Beis. What?
I think God was just giving me a taste of what it could be like if I spent more time davening. This is what's possible, Mordechai. You make one call, and you're successful with that call, you make $100,000.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, if you focus more on your tefillah, then your work, whatever work you do, will be blessed. I mean, it's.
You don't even make a call. The call comes to you.
Sometimes they call you. Yeah, very nice. David, you experienced that a little bit in your life?
Always.
Yeah.
I mean, in my work, you don't talk somebody into doing marketing research. They have to.
If they want it, they have to decide and run.
You have to be on a short list that somehow Hashem arranges it so they call you. But there's a billion people they could call to do the work.
And they called you.
Every time the phone rang was a miracle.
Mamish,
And
yeah.
every job came from a phone call or a text or something,
Wow.
Everyone was a miracle.
That's how it works. It's amazing.
Something been.
Yeah, you too.
I mean, I'm unemployed till somebody calls.
Wow. And they call you.
Yeah, I talk to people who are looking for work all the time, and I tell them, I said, I'm always looking for work. You're looking for one job.
Yeah.
You'll get your one job. Every day I'm looking for work. So, yeah.
Okay, Kihem Nikru Chasidim. They had the name Chasidim. The word Chasidim comes from the word Chesed. They were tapping into the Chesed Chinam. They were tapping into the free gifts of Hashem. This Matnas Otzer Matnas Chinam. They were able to get the Chesed Chinam from their Tefillah. That's the Torah that's hidden inside of the tefillah.
So they're called Hasidim because they receive chesed,
Yes.
not because they.
Not because they're wearing a funny costume.
Right.
Some of these guys think that today they buy a costume, right? They buy a furry hat and they put on a long coat. Okay, I'm a chassid now. Yeah, right. Okay.
A belt too.
Gartel, yeah. Okay, the gartel. Well, the gartel, that's part of that's not part of the costume.
Okay.
The gartel's not part of the costume. But that's what it is. These chassidim didn't have long coats and they didn't have furry hats. Whatever they wore, they wore. They weren't wearing a certain costume. All right. Therefore, since they weren't involved in all of their nonsense, they were able to daven a lot. They were able to spend time davening. Kitayrosa mishtameres, because their Torah was watched. They had their Torah ki gam b'shas hatfila hayu devekim b'Torah halanemes. While they were davening, they were involved in Torah. Their davening was also Torah. It's fascinating. So they were learning while they were davening.
Can you give me an idea of how that works? What do you mean when you say learning Torah while they're davening? Do you have an example of what they might have done?
Sure, they're saying Psukei D'Zimra. It's all Tehillim.
Okay.
That's part of Torah. You say the Mishnah. You say Rabbi Shmuel Leimer, right? That's a Mishnah, right? You're learning Ma'amar. You're learning Torah in the Tefillah. There's Torah in the Tefillah, but there's deeper Torah in the words of the Tefillah. In those words are hidden Torah. There's a hidden Torah deep. That was a good. I think that was a good example using the metal detector because those things are not on the surface.
Right.
Sometimes they're deeper, lower down. There's deeper things inside the tefillah. You have treasures inside the tefillah. Inside the tefillah is treasure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Come on,
listen.
kids, you're gonna
The
go dig the
Rambam says that every word of Psukei D'Zimra are like diamonds. They're diamonds. Could you imagine that? Some diamonds are clearer, some diamonds are not so clear, but they're all diamonds. All diamonds are great, right? All diamonds have value, right? So it's a diamond that has value. The better the more value, the more time and effort you put into your words, are the clearer diamond you create. Is that amazing? It's amazing. She bechinas chesed, chinam bechinas Torah's chesed. That's the Torah, which is a chesed. The Torah that's a chesed is the original Torah that Hashem, when He created the world with the Esed Mamoros, right? Hashem created the world with His 10 utterances, right? So that means in everything He created has Torah in it in the world, because those 10 utterances produced everything of the world, all of creation, right? And then we said that the first 2,400 years, 26 generations. Okay, before Hashem gave the Torah to us in the world was running perfectly. It was running on this Otzer Matnas Chinam. It was working on this on the free everything program. Hashem had it running. Okay, but then once we got the Torah, now we have the Torah, so we can involve ourselves in the Torah. Now we have to get our life force from the Torah. And we learned that, right? The Torah, Kiheim Chayenu v'Yairech Yameinu. Right? But then the question is, what do you do when you have to be Mevatel Torah? Because you have to go to work, you have to do things. Oh, so then you're tapping into the Otzer Matnas Chinam. Then you're tapping into the free everything, because you don't have the Torah to give you your life, right? How do you do that? Through Tefillah, right? It's amazing, right? I'm just trying to bring it back to you. Huh?
The world was existing for 2,400 years with a lot of problems. There was the Mabul and there was the Plaga.
But people ate,
Yeah.
and people lived.
Right.
There were there were problems, but again, there was no Torah. We said Kiheim Chayenu v'Yairech Yameinu, right? So if that's our life force, if the Torah is our life, but there was no life, there was no Torah in the world yet, but there was Torah in the world. It was the hidden Torah that's in everything, which we still have today. Everything that's created it's from the original Esed Mamoros that Hashem created everything in the world. So that means everything in the world has Torah in it. Can you reveal it? That's what they say when you come up to Shemayim, they're going to ask you, do you go look at the beautiful things of the world? Did you see, and you say, Marabba Masecha Hashem. Right? Did you see the wonders of the world? Why? Because there's Torah in there. Not that you see it. Did you see Hashem in those things that He created? You understand that? It's amazing, right? Did you see Hashem in the creation? That's what you're trying to find. Find Hashem in there. Access Hashem inside anything of this world. All right, now here we go. Okay, v'zeu. U'malachta misbareches. Ki me'acha shezocha lebechinas chesed chinam aydei tefillah. Since they were able to, again, we're discussing the Gemara in Masechta Brachos on Lamed Beis, Amid Beis. So anytime you want to see more about this, you can look up 32b. 32b in Brachos, okay? The Masechta Brachos, if you want to understand this a little more. And that's where Reb Nosson is drawing this from, okay? Shezeh ikar kiyam ha'olam be'esha oiskim b'malacha u'v'masa matan. Right? When you're doing your work, you're doing your transactions or whatever you're involved in, right? Whether you're a professional, you're a tradesman, no matter what, whatever you're doing. When you're working in whatever trade you're doing, whatever field you're in, right? You're tapping in to the Otza Matnas Chidim because again, you're not working with Torah. You don't have Torah unless you're making your work part of your Torah. In other words, you're fulfilling Choshen Mishpat in your work. You could do that, right? Right, you know, is when you're honest and you keep the scale right, and you're honest with the clients, and you build the clients correct, and you do all those things. You have in mind, hey, listen, I'm following my Shulchan Aruch, so that's amazing, right? That's what we're supposed to do. That's how you bring your Torah into the day, because we said it's not that the learning is the main thing; it's fulfilling the Torah, fulfilling the mitzvahs, right?
And there's one that's the highest. If you own the company and you create jobs, that's one of the highest mitzvah. By hiring someone, you're giving him something that he can take care of himself or she. Okay.
Okay. Dahainu shemachayin atzman bebechinas haTorah halanemes bechol davar bechol masa matnan ve'umnas. Whatever trade you have, right? If you're whatever professional you are, uman is a tradesman. Shabaylim shezel bechinas chesed chinam. It's all part of the chesed chinam. Al came bevadei hoysem malachta misbareches. Therefore, their work was blessed. Ki misham ikar bracha. That's where the main blessing comes from within tefillah. The main blessing comes to us from tefillah within our davening. That's where the blessing comes to us. Any blessing you have in your life comes because of the matnas chinam that you accessed during your tefillah. How do you like that? That's amazing, right? But again, you have to thank Hashem because again, He gave it to you for free. You didn't earn it. You didn't earn it. This is all a program to keep us not from getting arrogant. We realize it's not us.
Is there anything we did earn or do earn?
Well, not really, because Hashem, anything you did do, Hashem let you do it.
Right.
In partnership, you're in partnership, you know.
Yeah.
You could have not done it. It's your bechira.
Yeah, okay, you didn't do it, okay. But if you did accomplish it, you only accomplished it because Hashem let you do it.
You're not independent, but
You're not independent, right?
But you, yeah.
No, well, of course Hashem keeps the neshama inside of us. And we say in the morning, neshama wants to leave. Hashem keeps it inside of us. The neshama doesn't want to stay here. Hashem keeps the neshama in our body, right? Hashem, you watch it, you keep it inside of me. It wants to leave.
Thank you.
But He kept it in us, right? You see that? Okay, now look. The main blessing is find Hashem in everything of the world. Like we said, go look at the wonders of Hashem. Maybe you can go over here and look at the beautiful mountains. Go on top of Zayt Shemin and look at the beautiful mountains and the way Hashem created. You can say, "Ma Rabba Masech Hashem," right here in our neighborhood, right? Such beauty.
The sky at dawn.
No, David. Sometimes if you can, when you go up on top of Zayt Shemin, and there's a beautiful look. You can look out there. It's magnificent. It's magnificent. You see the land, you see the mountains, and you see how everything is so perfect. It's magnificent to see. Find Hashem in each thing, in everything. Heipecha klola chas v'shalom, which is the opposite of curse. Which is the opposite of seeing what's a curse. You say, oh, look what I made. Look what I did. I accomplished that. Oh, we made that. We accomplished that. That's not finding Hashem in everything. Shehi machma shenela v'nista or Hashem m'shemalubasham, because a person's hiding the light of Hashem that's hidden inside that thing, that whatever you're proclaiming that you created, that you made. You're hiding Hashem's light in there because I did it. That's not good. These are words in Devarim, right? Difficult words. Because Hashem's not in me, right? I feel that way. The person feels there's no Hashem inside of me. So all the evil, the bad things found me. Because again, you're protected with Hashem. When you stay with Hashem, you have the best protection. Right? A person wants protexia. What's the best protexia you can get? Be with Hashem. Find Hashem in everything. It's so beautiful. Really. I mean, it's amazing. Kamuva besvarim ki ikar bracha v'ashefa hi rak meita yizbarach. The main blessing and all blessing comes from Hashem. Ukishedovik b'Hashem yizbarach tamid. If a person's working on constantly being connected to Hashem all through his day, no matter what it's going on, he's working on finding Hashem in everything, in every conversation, in every meeting he meets somebody, in everywhere he goes, in everything he sees, he's working on finding Hashem. V'yidea shafilu b'chol advarim amasa maten, amasa maten malocha sheba'olam melubash, bahem elikusa yizbarach. You have Hashem inside in all of those things. In other words, when a person lives that way, that he finds Hashem in everything that he does, in every conversation, every person, everything, anything he's dealing with. No matter if he's a tradesman, a professional, it doesn't matter. He finds Hashem. He finds Hashem in there. Could you imagine a guy goes to the doctor and the doctor says, I have a good education and I can heal you and I know all the inner workings of your body and I would tell you run away from such a doctor, right? But if a doctor has the tefillah from the Rambam on his wall, right, and he says I'm a shliach from Hashem, and it's really the refuah comes from Hashem, and let me see if I can try to help you. Let me see if I can try to help you. Oh, so that's a doctor that can help you, doctor, right? Because he's finding Hashem. It's Hashem. The refuah doesn't come from the person himself. It comes from Hashem. Like we just said, if a person doesn't find Hashem inside of him, then all of the evil stuff comes. Right? That's klola. That's not bracha. Huh? That Torah is really hidden in everything of the world. There's nothing that you can't find Hashem, you can't find Torah in the world. Everything has Torah in it. So certainly you'll have blessing in whatever you have to do, whatever you're going to be doing. Because you're finding Hashem and you're tapping into Hashem in whatever you're dealing with. So that's the secret. The secret is find Hashem in everything that you're doing. Because Hashem is there. He's there. Find Hashem and turn that into blessing. Turn it into blessing. Don't find Hashem. Try to do it another way. And then you'll have you won't find the blessing, because the blessing all comes me'es Hashem. Does everyone agree with this or disagree with this or want to say anything on this?
I agree with it.
Yeah.
And my question is, how do I know that the thought that came into my mind is something that the Yetzer Hara is a part of, or?
It's very simple. If that thought is going to bring you closer to Hashem, then go for it. If that thought is going to drive you away from Hashem, It's not from Hashem. Of course, He sent the Yetzer Hara to send it into your mind.
Right.
So just change the thought, like we learned. Change that thought. Okay. So now we're gonna switch gears and we're gonna talk about now the Birchas Kahana, the blessings that the Kohanim give. Okay? Because again, we're talking about blessing and getting blessing, right? So who gives us blessing? And we're also in Hilchas Tefillah, Hilchas Shmon Esrei, right? The Shmon Esrei. So in the Chazaras Hashatz, when the Shliat Tzibur is repeating the Shmon Esrei, right, where we said that's where you can access all the treasures in that Tefillah. So one of the treasures that you have in there is the Birchas Kahana, right? Now, v'zeh bechinas Birchas Kahanim ki hakohen ish chesed, because the Kohen is an ish chesed. The Kohen is a person that's a man of chesed. Why? Because the Kohen is doing everything for everybody else, right? The Kohen would come he would come in the morning into the Beis Hamikdash, and he would take care of the communal sacrifices, and then as people came in, he would take care of their sacrifices. He didn't necessarily get paid for that, right? He got his truma, he got his mice, he got his different things. But the Kohen didn't get a salary, right? No Kohen got a salary. Does anyone do this, right? You ever hear of the Kohen got a salary?
Matnas Kuna.
Yeah, oh, you understand. But matnas, it's like matana.
Yeah.
It's everyone gave him things, right? If the Kohen was a nice guy, so people want to bring that Kohen, their truma, their mice, right? They would give to that Kohen.
Even if it's not a nice guy, he's just there on
I understand.
reserve duty in the Beis Hamikdash.
No, but if you're a farmer and you have a lot of and you have to give truma, so you can find your Kohen and you can give it to him. Right? But basically the Kohen is an ish chesed. He's always doing for others. Right? It's amazing. It's a beautiful idea, right?
I like it.
He's able to reveal this chesed chinam, this free Hashem's otzer matnas chinam, the Kohen, since he's an ish chesed. We said before, the Chasidim Rishonim. Chasidim, why were they Chasidim Rishonim? Because they found the chesed. Their name came from chesed. Chasidim has chesed in there, right? Chasidim has chesed in there. They found the otzer matnas chinam in their tefillah. And okay, so the Kohen is doing that too. Ha'olam koydem matan Torah al yedei bechinas asara mamoris. So they always accessing the Torah, the original, when Hashem created the worlds with all of creation, with the 10 utterances. Hashem created everything with the 10 utterances. So everything of creation has Torah in it because it's part of the 10 utterances, right? If Hashem made the utterance and it came in existence from it, so then that's part of Torah. You could find Hashem in that thing. Sheheim ne'elamim b'chol davar. And that's hidden inside of everything of creation. Rabbi Nassim really wants us to understand this concept, that you can really find Hashem in anything of the world. Sheheim b'chinas ha'torah shemelubash v'nelam b'chol davar. There's Torah hidden. It's embedded in each and everything of the world. There's Torah that is keeping it going. Because we said, what is it? Everything is really created through letters. Right? We don't see it. Right? We see the thing. We don't see the letter makeup of what makes everything exist. But everything does exist because of the letters. Right? The example I always like to give is Adam. Right? Adam was able to see before the ched before he was involved in the ched Eitz Hadas Tov Hara. Right? He was able to see Misoif Olam Ad Soifai, right? And he had eyes that were able to see. So he saw an animal. And he was able to name the animal because he saw what letters made up that animal. And he knew how to name the animal. It was very simple. It wasn't hard for him. But we see an animal, we don't see the letters in it. But it's there. But the letter makeup is there. There's bracha in there. There's Torah in there. Hashem is in there. But we have so much pollution, we don't see it. Right? Because the Marais, when Hashem said the statements, it was Olam Chesed Yibana. Hashem used Chesed to make the statements, right? He embedded Chesed inside of all of his words and inside of all of creation. Bebechinas ki amati oilam chesed yibana. And therefore, since the Kohen is an Ish Chesed, he could bring bracha to Yisrael. He could bring bracha to the Jewish people because he's fitting, right? The Kohen is fitting because he's part of he's in the Chesed club. The Kohen is in the Chesed club. Which Chesed club? The Matnas Chinam Chesed club. So therefore, the Kohen is fitting to be a vehicle, he can be the one to give the blessing to the Jewish people. Ki hika bracha misham al yedei shemegalan asar mamores shebehem nivra olam shehem bechinas chesed chinam shehem melubshan bechol davar. And they can reveal and access this chesed chinam that's found within everything. Isn't that beautiful? He's just building on this concept. So the Kohen is the Ish Chesed, because the Kohen is involved with Chesed, and the Kohen is involved with bringing the sacrifices and doing all the service in the well, he did in the Mishkan, in the Beis Hamikdash, and Mitzvah Shem Dekan will do that again with the building of Bayis Shlishi Bekar Mamish. Okay, and then again, but now the Kohanim are involved in giving blessing daily here in Eretz Yisrael, and
how did they tap into the Karbono before the Torah was given? Meaning it says that oh,
because we said, okay, so Yossi, we'll do it again. We review. Okay. Hashem created the world, and he didn't give the Torah till the 26th generation, about 2,400 years into creation. How did the world survive? Chesed Chinam. It was on the free program.
Right.
It was on the free program, right? And then we said that when we study Torah right now, since Hashem gave us the Torah, and we say Kihem Chayenu V'Yarech Yameinu, the Torah is our life source, right? But the problem is we're not involved like we learned on Erev Shabbos. We learned about Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Shimon and his chaver was involved in learning Torah 18, 19 hours a day, right? They were always involved. That was their life. That was their ummah. That was their trade. They studied Torah. So they would only have to break. They only had to break to say Kriya Shema. Remember we said that, right? They only had to break to say Kriya Shema because again, that's the Torah requirement of Tefillah, right? Tefillah really is not a Torah requirement, right? And the Torah requirement is only to say Shema, correct? Right? That's the Torah requirement. We say Tefillah now in lieu of the sacrifices. Right, we know it's in the morning. There was a Tamid Shel Shachar, right? The Tamid Shel Shachar. So we give Shachris before, in lieu of that. And then Mincha we had the Tamid Shel Bein Arbayim, right? And that was the Mincha Tefillah. That's where that came about. Right? In Avis we do because we want to, before we go to sleep, we want to straighten out everything, right? Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that to do with the Kohen? I guess.
So that's the Chesed. So now it's the Kohen. The Kohen is, since he's involved in Chesed all the time, and the Kohen only gets, and the Kohen, everything he gets, he doesn't earn. Everything the Kohen gets, he doesn't earn his money. The Kohen doesn't earn it. He gets it from people. People give it to him. So the Kohen can never say, he can't never say that. I didn't do anything. Right? The Kohen can't get involved in that because, again, the Kohen didn't have the land. Right? The Kohen wasn't given land. The Levi didn't have land, right? They weren't giving a special thing. They were able to buy land or whatever they were able to do, but they didn't actually they weren't given a portion, right? So they were always reliant on the people. So the Kohen, since he was reliant on everybody else, he was the one that can't be involved in saying that, I did this. He's involved with Hashem all day long. He sees the miracle. Right? He sees the miracles in the Beis Hamikdash, right? He saw the miracle of the Ner Maravi, the candle, right? It always burnt, no matter what, that candle was always burning, right? That's why we light a Ner Maravi on the Beis. We do the same thing to remember that miracle, right? And that's why we do that, right? I don't think this shul has one. Do we have one? They didn't get it yet. We have a water fountain outside, but we don't have a Ner Maravi. We have a water fountain, but we don't have a mikveh.
I don't think we have a water fountain outside.
Yeah, we do. There's a fountain.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying
Yeah. We don't have a mikveh.
Not yet.
I thought when I saw that thing originally, I said, "Wow, they're collecting the water for the mikveh." and it's going to be there was going to be the hamshacha samayim. You have to have a thing that the water goes. Wow, we can have the mikvahs. And then I found out, no, it's a fountain. I said, great. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's all chesed. It's all part of chesed. The Kohen's part of chesed, and we're trying to explain that, right? Because the Kohen was involved in chesed. He was collecting everything he was doing was chesed, and everything he had in his life was from the chesed Hashem. Right? It was only because he was the Kohen that everyone gave him everything that they gave him. And therefore the Kohen gives his blessing when he lifts up his hand, right? Kohen, you lift up your hands when you say the blessing? Right? You lift up your hands, right? Oh, here's an interesting one. The hands having it, we saw this before, this is not new, but we'll explain it again. The hands having it 28 joints. You know you have 28 joints? You have 14 in each hand. Do you know how you get that, right? Yeah. In 4 fingers you have 3 joints, in the thumb you have 2.
Yod.
Right? Yad, right. 14. Yad. Mm-hmm. Exactly. You see that? Then that's how you see in the, you could see in the hand itself has 14 joints. So that's the letter makeup of the hand. Yad. Like Sasha just said. Right? It was Yad. Yud Dalet. Yud is 10. Dalet is 4. That's 14. 14 joints in each hand. Together, you have 2 hands. You lift up 2 hands when you say the blessing, right? So that's 28. 28 is the gematria of koach. Koach, power, might. Okay? Watch what he says now. Tehem bechinas koach maseh bereshis. That's the koach that Hashem used to create creation. Right? To create creation, Hashem used koach. He used power. Right? The power in the words of Hashem to create everything that came about. Right? They say that everything came about by the Big Bang. Okay, it did. But who made the Big Bang?
The Kohen.
Koach Maseh Bereshis. Okay, here we go. The Bechinas Asar Mamorais, K'maycha Kotzer Rabbeinu B'Mokei Mach, Rabbi Nachman talks about in lesson 44. Al Kein Ayedei Hayadayim. Through the hands, Shayedei Zeh Megalin Koyach Maseh Bereshis. So the Kohen is being Megalin the Koyach Maseh Bereshis. Again, tapping into that Otzer Matnas Chinam of creation. Okay, Vayim lifting up his hands because he's the Isha Chesed, because he's the one that's always involved in Chesed. He's the one in receiving Chesed. He's the one that's the most appropriate person to be able to say the blessing. Bechinas Asar Mamorais Shem Meluvoshin Bechol Davar, that's hidden inside of everything, right? Al Kain Ayedei Zeh Yochel HaKohen Ish Chesed Lahamshich Bracha. Therefore, the Kohen is the best one to draw blessing and to give blessing to the Jewish people. How do you like that? See that, Mordechai? Ki Ikar HaBracha Misham, that's the main bracha, that's the main place of the bracha, right? The Chesed Chinam, Bebechinas Elokim HaMelubash Bechol Davar. Hashem is hidden within everything. And you see it again when you have your hand is 20, you have 28 because each hand is 14, and 14 is 28. Amazing, right? So you see the letter makeup is really everything. Everything is really part of Hashem's creation. He created everything with this Chesed Chinam in it. So everything you can access Hashem within everything of creation. And the Kohen is the most appropriate person to do that. Oh, and that's why he does it during the Tefillah. He does it during the Shmon Esrei, because he said that in the Shmon Esrei, you can access easily. It's much easier to access the Matnas Chinam. In the words, you can find the hidden Torah in the words of the Shmon Esrei. So now, since I'm in that part of the section in the Tefillah, and I just said Modim, I just thanked Hashem for everything that I have. Right? What do we say before the Birkas Kohanim? We say Modim. We're thanking Hashem for everything, for all the miracles He did for me, and He keeps doing for me, and everything else. We're thanking Hashem. Oh, then since I'm thanking Hashem, and I realize it's all from you, Hashem, I become a vessel to be able to accept the blessing from the Kohen. You understand? We have to become a blessing. We have to become a receptacle. We need to be a kli, right? So when I thank Hashem, that's the greatest way to make the kli. You understand, right? Okay. That's why it's in Tefillah. Ki Tefillah gam bechinas zu. This is the idea of drawing chesed chinam. When we're davening Shmon Esrei, we're trying to draw the chesed chinam, and the Kohen during the Chazaras HaChatz, the repetition Shmon Esrei, he is saying the Birchas Kahanim, lifting up his hands, and he says the blessing to draw the blessing from Hashem, from this matnas chinam, to give to the people.
It has to be in the Yahava, because
Yahava.
hey, you're in like Chesed, loving mode, like you're getting these free gifts. You can't have
You
an
can't.
angry guy when you're in Chesed mode.
That's right.
Is that like all part of the same
Yeah,
thing?
it's all part of the same thing. Right, he's giving the blessing ba'ahava, right, with love. Right, with love. Unbelievable. Okay, now, well, of course the Kohen's going to love the people because the people are always giving him. Right, he feels a karas atov to the people.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot easier maybe in those days because
Yeah, I understand, but that's the way we're living. We're not living we're living Plan B. Plan A is the Kohen gets all this stuff, and
yeah.
right, we're on track B. We were supposed to be on track A.
B though is hey, I gotta tap into
Yeah.
the hidden source.
Yeah.
And how do I come up with all these hacks to make our position in relation to Hashem
Yeah.
the best possible.
Best possible thing. While we find ourselves in this situation, so we're trying to make the best of the situation we find ourselves in, and how can we access all the blessing during this tefillah? Okay, okay. Gam ha-tefillah. Therefore, tefillah mesugeles yoser beprishas kapayim. When we're davening, there's an idea to lift up your hands when you're davening. Also, you ever see people do that? They lift up their hands during davening.
Well, during which parts? Just
Anytime, just pick up your hands. Right? There's an idea of that. Lift up your hands. Lift up your hands. Kamay shekosav shitachti elecha kapai. Right? Lift up my hands. Right? Kamay shekosav Rabbeinu Zal. Rabbi Nachman writes in Sefer Amidas and Tefillah b'shasa Tefillah toiv lifroish kapav. It's very good to lift up your hands during Tefillah. Lift up your hands, almost like your hands are like the antennas. Right, to draw down the chesed, you can use your hands, lift up your hands for that. Okay, amuva b'mokei macher, inyan, machos, kapayim, b'shas tefillah, clapping during davening is also a very good thing. Because clapping, what it does is it can mitigate judgment. When you clap, you can mitigate judgment through clapping. Is that nice?
yeah, but this is why the Lidfox like. Hey,
I know. We're not. I'm sorry for all those fellas. I'm sorry.
Everyone, it's a you're-
Yes. Okay. So don't daven with them. It's sad. Yeah. Okay. So what? Okay.
What don't
Okay.
they do?
They won't clap during davening.
Oh,
They'll tell you you're not allowed to clap on Shabbos. It's a klei zemer. I want to see these guys that they have a klei zemer with their hands. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
what's a clay zemmer?
Instrument, musical instrument, yeah. Right, okay, yeah, the professional clappers, right? All right, anyway, I'm sorry, okay. You brought this thing up with the lid
I brought it
fox.
up just right.
Yeah.
But it does. It pushes away the
It can push away all the, yeah. It mitigates judgment, okay? Ki hayadayim hein kofches pirkim, because again, Yadayim has 28 joints, right? 14 in each hand. Bechinas koyach maaseh bereishis shayadeze yecholim lichvoish eretz Yisrael. Wow, how you like that one, Yossi? Huh? You want to conquer Eretz Yisrael. We want to conquer all the Hamas and the Houthis and the Hezbollah. Start clapping during davening. Nice, right? Clap. Nice, huh? We can do that, right? We can do that, right? We can do that. Easy, right? You can be Kovish Eretz Yisrael.
Because everybody has to do it, otherwise it's like really disturbing.
Well, listen, we'll start. You start, and then someone else will see you clapping, and they'll clap, and it'll grow. Hopefully, I don't know. Okay. Says huh? Pesach is clapping. Yeah, he's always clapping. Yeah. Because Pesach is the holiday of Matnas Chinam, right? So he's a guy of Chesed, right? He's tapped into the mind, so he's clapping. Shezeh bechinas tefillah. This is the idea of tefillah bechinas matnas chinam. The whole idea of tefillah is matnas chinam, right? The whole idea is we're tapping into the otzer matnas chinam. We're tapping into that treasure of free everything. Free everything. That's the treasure, matnas chinam. Free anything that you need. How do you tap into it? You can use it through tefillah. And these are all the different ideas that Hashem is giving us to tap into this oitzer matnas chinam. Okay, so let's go on, and let's see if we can finish. No, maybe we're not going to finish it today. We'll do it tomorrow. Okay, fine. Okay. So let's go to Hey. Okay, everyone okay so far with this, right? Okay, good. Baruch Hashem. Ba'al kein maskirin ha'avos b'tefillah. Now we talk about, when we start the Shmon Esrei, we say Lekei Avraham and Lekei Yitzchak and Lekei Yaakov. Where we talk about the Avos, we talk about the forefathers in our Tefillah. Lekei Avraham and Lekei Yitzchak and Lekei Yaakov, V'gam Iker HaTefillah Tiknu Heim K'moshe Amru B'Seinu Zal Avram Tikin Shachris. We know that not only do the Avos personify this idea, but the others were the ones that were able to establish the tefillahs, right? We know that Avraham Avinu established tefillas shachris, right? Yitzchak Avinu established tefillas mincha, right? The Torah tells us he was suach basar, he was davening in the field when Rivka came, right? He was in the middle of davening mincha. We know that Yitzchak established tefillas mincha, right? And Yaakov Avinu established tefillas arvis, right? Ma'ariv, okay? Ki ha'avos hayu koydem matan Torah. Because the Avos lived in that time of the Otzer Matnas Chinam, right? They lived in that time where there was no given, the Torah wasn't given yet. So, but the Avos were able to access the Torah that was hidden inside the words of Tefillah. That's why they created the Tefillah. You understand that? What greater proof do you need now? Right? If you want to understand it, you can access tefillah during the matnas chinam during your tefillah. The avos didn't have the Torah yet, so what do? They established the tefillah. They established the tefillah. They established the prayer. Why? Because they understood that if I use prayer, I can tap into the hidden Torah in everything in the world to find Hashem, and that's what Avraham Avinu did. Right? Avraham Avinu found Hashem in everything of the world. That's why Avraham Avinu was able to take dirt when he came to the war, the 4 kings against the 5 kings, right? He took dirt, and he threw dirt, and it turned into arrows. Because again, it didn't matter. He understood, I don't need actual weaponry. I can use anything. I can use anything if I rely on Hashem. If I'm reliant on Hashem, I can use anything. Happened here in Eretz Yisrael too, right? When they were fighting the Yom Kippur War, they didn't have ammunition, right? They didn't even have ammunition, right? But I had a guy I know in New York. His name, well, he moved now to whatever. But his name is Yehuda Daphna, great guy, and he was one of the guys that went into the old city. And he went into the old city. He said that he wasn't religious at that time. He was not religious. So his commander told him, let's all say Shema now. Because they thought that the Jordanians were when they would open up the Shar Yafo, when they would open up those gates, they thought the Jordanians were there and they were going to get slaughtered. They were prepared to die. You know that, right? They were prepared to die when they opened those gates. So they said Shema, they prepared to die. They opened the gates, the Jordanians saw them, they ran. He said they each had maybe 1 bullet in their gun. They had nothing. They had a gun, but they had no ammunition. Nothing. But when you tap into Hashem, you get everything. See that? You know that, right? Yossi, I'm not telling you, right? You know that. You know better than me. You could probably tell me the story even better, right?
Oh, the story of them going in there. Anytime you tap into Hashem, it's...
But they did. That's what they did. And the Jordanians left. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
A lot more pachad then, certainly then.
What?
A lot more pachad of the Arabs then, certainly, than we're seeing now. That's what's so scary about now, is that you're actually seeing, like, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you.
But this is why we have to tap into this desperately now. This is how we can tap back into it and we can get it. Like
we don't believe in ourselves now. That's what we're weak.
You what?
We don't believe in ourselves.
That's right.
You're
you're saying you think they believed in themselves more? than we
No,
believe in
now we're
ourselves?
believing, okay, is it, oh, poor Biden, you're going to send me all more, I need more ammunition, Biden. Biden, I need more ammunition, come on, Biden. No, I'm not going to give it to you. No, please, I need it. Please, I need it. They're pleading from Biden, right? What are we doing now? Are we pleading from Hashem? What's the government doing?
You think there was more of an outcry to Hashem then?
Well, they didn't have anything. There was no choice. Those guys in the when the 6th day, they didn't have.
They were begging. I mean, 70 Kippur. They were begging Nixon. It was the same.
I understand, but the mindset, but it was a really desperate situation, right?
These guys, you see them dancing, and the soldiers and
The soldiers are great. The soldiers are great, right? They're doing the right thing. The soldiers, we always say that the soldiers are doing the right thing. They know what they see Hashem. They see in everything they do. They see the bracha and what they're doing. You understand? But the problem is the big leaders on the top. They don't see it. They're against that. Why are you dancing? What are you doing? Anyway, okay, whatever. I'm sorry. Because the Avos came about before Matan Torah. That's the point. They were before Matan Torah, and they were able to establish the Tefillah. Sha'oz haya miskayim ha'olam bechazdoi bechinas ha'torah al nemes shezeh bechinas Tefillah. Right? They the way you said. We learned before about the Hasidim Rishonim that they would study. They would study an hour. They would prepare themselves for Tefillah an hour before davening. Their Tefillah was an hour, and they would prepare. They would contemplate their davening after for another hour. So 9 hours a day they prepared, was involved in Tefillah. So he said, where is their blessing? How are they going to have any time to learn Torah? How are they ever going to have any time to do any work? We said, no problem, because they found the Torah in their Tefillah. They accessed the hidden Torah in the Tefillah, which gave them blessing with their work. Why? Because anything they did, they just did a little bit of work and they got a lot of benefit. Right? They didn't have to spend all the hours. They didn't have to spend as much time because they were tapping into Tefillah. The Avos understood that the blessing, since we don't have the Torah now, I'm going to access it through Tefillah. And that's why they established the Tefillah that we have today. That was a present from the Avos that they gave to us. Right? Their avoda was everything was Tefillah because they didn't have anything else. Right? The Avos didn't have the Torah, so it was Tefillah. Ki Tefillah hu chesed chinam shehaya mikayim oilam koydem matan Torah. Right? We understand that now. Right? That's the whole idea of the Tefillah is the tapping into the matnas chinam that Hashem used to keep the world going before Kabbalas HaTorah. Alkein ikar Tefillah hiskil me Avram, and therefore the main Tefillah began with Avram Avinu, specifically with Avraham. Shu hiskil legales elakusei ba'olam, because he was the one that revealed that there's a God in the world. He found Hashem. In other words, you want to talk about finding Hashem? Avraham Avinu was born to Terach, right? He was an idol wholesaler, right? He used to supply all the local stores with idols, right? That was his thing. He was the wholesaler of idols. Avraham Avinu, the son of Terach, right? This guy, the idol wholesaler, found Hashem, right? Isn't that amazing? He found Hashem in everything. He says it can't be that these stones, these wooden things, these whatever they were, these metal things, it can't be that these things are God's. It cannot be. It cannot be. Look at it. Oh, this is amazing. In Bereshis, those are the same letters of Ba'avraham. Wow. In other words, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the whole creation in order for Avraham Avinu to find him. That's the whole point of everything, that we find Hashem. And we give Hashem the greatest nachas when we find Hashem in everything of creation. Behi baram, be'avraham. How do you like that? You like that?
Yeah. So I want to understand, so like, back to this idea of even 10 Mamarot, Like, so when Hashem ends up giving us the Torah, it's not even that He added something new to the world by giving us the Torah.
He did. He gave us the ten Commandments.
That was new. That wasn't in.
No, that was what He gave us. In contrast, it was complementing the Esem Mamoros. That was the revealed Torah. He gave the Torah that Hashem gave us. He gave us the revealed Torah.
So that was a chiddush that on Har Sinai. Meaning, what I'm hearing and seeing is, wow, Hashem created the world. He put everything in it that we're ever going to need at the beginning of time. Guys like Abraham were able to come along and figure out the deep secrets of that. Like
he found Hashem.
Well, he found the Torah.
He found Hashem. Through Tefillah, he accessed the Torah. He was able to access Torah through the Tefillah.
The Torah was even given on Har Sinai.
Right.
It was already in the world from the beginning of time.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's right. So there's nothing really that's been added. It's all there if you're able to tap into it.
If you tap into it. So when you're studying the revealed Torah, you can really get that through your Tefillah. It's hidden inside Tefillah. Because the Esem Mamoros has in it the Esem Dibros.
Right.
It has the 10 utterances are involved in the 10 utterances of creation.
Right.
Unbelievable. All right. Behi baram ba'Avraham. Ba'al kein ikar hachasima habracha ba'Avraham. So that's why when we end off the bracha, we say Mogain Avraham. Right? Chazal was they were trying to figure out what should they do. Maybe it should be Mogain Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Right? Why we mentioned 3 of them. Right? They were trying to figure out how do we end that bracha? Do we end the bracha Mogain Avraham, or do we end it Mogain Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov? Right? Maybe we should have the bracha with all of them, like we just said. Talmud Loimar. No, so the Gemara answers, "Hey bracha b'cha chaismin." With you and Avraham, that we're gonna give the chasima, the ending of the blessing is going to be signed off with Avram Avinu alone, because Avram Avinu is Behi Baram Ba'Avraham. So because it's Behi Baram Avraham, therefore we say the end the blessing in that. Ki Iker Avraham Shu Bechinas Chesed Chinam Shu Iker Kiyam. That's the Iker existence of the world. Kaidem Matan Torah, before Hashem gave the Torah. Shazeh Iker Bechinas Tefillah. It's all Tefillah. So this is fascinating. If you want to understand how you can find Hashem in your tefillah, well, look at the Avos. The Avos didn't have Torah. They didn't have the Torah. The Torah wasn't given yet. But they established the prayers, right? Avraham Avinu established the morning prayer. Yitzchak, Isaac established the afternoon prayer. Yaakov established the evening prayer, right? Right? So why did they establish these prayers? Because each one was in touch with that time. In other words, Avraham Avinu was part of Chesed. Chesed is in the morning, right? You see the brightness of Hashem. You see the sun everything is bright, beautiful in the morning. In the afternoon is the time of Din, right? The afternoon is the time of Din. Yitzchak Avinu was attached to the Din. Yaakov Avinu is Ve'emunascha Baleilais. Yaakov Avinu had a lot of emunah. Yaakov Avinu had a lot of emunah, so Yaakov Avinu felt connected to the night, and therefore he found Hashem, and he tapped into this matnas chinam through his tefillah that he made at night. Yitzchak Avinu tapped into to the hidden Torah and the matnas chinam through the afternoon. Avraham Avinu did it through the morning. Okay, you understand that, right? It's amazing, this understanding. Al Kain, Nimsu brachas la'Avram, umimenu Yitzchak for the Yaakov. Therefore, the brachas were given to Avram Avinu. He gave it over to Yitzchak, and Yitzchak gave it over to Yaakov. Ki misham ikar bracha ayidei shemagalan lekusay yizbarach shemelubash b'chol davar. So Avram Avinu taught Yitzchak, his dear son. He taught him how Hashem is found in everything, in everything. In everything, he found that he showed Yitzchak how everything is found. You could find Hashem in anything of this world, right? And then he gave that over to Yaakov Avinu, right? And Yaakov Avinu even saw that, right? When Yaakov Avinu went to sleep after that, all those years, and he went to sleep on Har HaBayit, right? That's where he went to sleep, and he put those 12 stones around his head, and those stones were arguing, right? Rashi, right? And it turned into one stone. Isn't that amazing? I mean, we say these stories. Stones were arguing. Huh? What did we just say? Stones were arguing. The stones, did we ever see two stones arguing?
I want to say yes.
When we have the emunah, when you
Exactly.
have the emunah of Yaakov Avinu, you could see a lot more stuff.
Well, we already saw sun and moon arguing.
Yeah, okay. No, the sun, that was in the beginning. That was in the very beginning.
This is the people we come from.
Yeah. But it's amazing, right? It's amazing, right? So this is
Imagine, and that stone is, I mean, that's of all dome of the rock, of all rocks.
Yeah,
to-
that's
to,
the
to
stone.
pick. To
That
pick
stone.
that rock.
That rock.
That one, I mean, of all the ones that are, so this place is filled with rocks everywhere.
The rocks everywhere you
That's the
look.
one.
He faked
Build
that rock.
something around it to hold it to momish fight your too.
Unbelievable. It's until today where we're dealing with the same thing, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing, right? The dome of the rock. That's what it's all
That's the
about.
rock of
That's all it's all about.
A little rock.
A little rock. They're fighting about that place, right? That's it. Al-Aqsa, right? That's what they said.
Yeah, yeah.
Al-Aqsa, yeah. Okay, this is what it is. Okay, we can all tap in to the Otzer Matnas Chidim, and we can. Nothing's showing us how to do it. It's very simple. It's not hard. It's not hard to do. We just have to believe there's hidden Torah inside the words of our Tefillah. When we go outside and work and whatever we have to do, find Hashem in everything that you're doing, so you can access the Matnas Chidim. So that way your work can be blessed. You don't want to have your work not, but when your work is blessed, you could do a little bit of work and have a lot of accomplishment rather than not having the blessing and do a lot of work and accomplish nothing. So I wish everyone today a wonderful day, and everyone should be able to find Hashem in everything they do, and they should see a lot of blessing in everything they do, and especially our soldiers should be successful today in whatever they're doing and find the Yad Hashem in everything possible. Everyone have a wonderful day. Kol Tov.